Cynful Prime Rib. This is what you will need for it, and there is a link to a printable recipe in the video description. 3 days before cooking, we're going to go ahead and salt this. We're going to dry age it. So we're going to cut the strings that hold the bones on and take the bones off. We're going to cut into the fat cap here, down into the fat but not into the meat. And we're going to make it a crosshatch pattern. So you're going to see me kind of switch like this, switch the direction. So we're going to make squares across the top of the fat cap. And then we're going to take kosher salt and we're going to salt this really well. Beef can take a lot of salt. So we're really going to salt this. Make sure you get it into the crevices. Salt it all over, all the ends, all the sides, including the side that is touching the bone. Just salt it and really nice because we're going to use this for a salt dry age. Now we're going to put the roast back on the bone, just set it on top. It's mostly for storage and room in your refrigerator. And then we're going to put it in the refrigerator for 3 days. And this is how it's going to look right before you put it in, and I'll show you what it's going to look like afterwards. So the day of the cook, we're going to go ahead and make our rub. We're using the Adams Reserve rib roast and steak. To that, we're going to add some dried minced onions, some garlic powder, onion powder, and then I have some fresh rosemary. Now I have a bush outside, so I picked a whole lot of it, and we're just going to chop this up really fine. And you'll use about a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half of the fine chopped rosemary. Now that we're going to do the same thing with the thyme, we're going to go ahead and pull the leaves off. Then chop it all up. And again, about a tablespoon, tablespoon and a half. Put that in with the rest of the spices, and this is the Truffle Zest. There will be a link in the recipe where you can get it. And then stir it all up, get it all mixed in. If you got big chunks, kind of break them up. Now this is what it looks like after 3 days in the refrigerator. We're going to take it off the bone and we're going to sear all the sides except the side that the bone is on. We're going to leave that unseared. So all the sides, all the edges, but you see that bottom right there is not being seared. We're going to set it right back on top of the bones, and I put some avocado oil on this. We're going to use that kind of as glue on all the sides and the edges and top. And then just sprinkle that seasoning, that rub that we made, all over the roast, on all the top, sides, edges. The only place you don't need to worry about is where it's sitting on the bone. And then we're going to tie it back to the bones here. Get it on there nice and tight. And then clip the ends off. Here we're doing it. I did 2, and I put it in between the bones. So you'll have a bone, and then I tied, and then a bone. Now this is my meter probe, and if you don't have that, just use any temperature probe like you use for barbecue, but put it about center of the meat. Now on the meter it has a little line to put it to, but just try to hit the center. Now we've cooked it already, and this is after the cook and after the rest. And we need to make it pretty. I mean, it is Christmas, right? So I just took some of that extra rosemary and some tomatoes and then sprinkled some rosemary on top. And that's it, folks. That is your prime rib. Isn't that gorgeous? I'd like to thank you for joining me in my kitchen today for this wonderful prime rib. Please like, subscribe, and comment. It really helps on the algorithms and gets the recipes out there. And as always, y'all have a blessed day.